Right, moving over to this, day 4 of the SA Aquatic National Championships gets underway at 6 p.m. tonight in Gqeberha. Olympic champions Tatiana Schoenmaker and Chad Leclerc will once again be in action in the 50-meter breaststroke and 100-meter butterfly finals, respectively. My colleague in eNCA's sports reporter, Hloni Mtimkulu, joins us for a build-up. Hloni, good afternoon to you. We've got 3 days down heading into day 4, come 6 p.m. How has the tournament been thus far?
Good evening, Nicole. You mentioned Tatiana and Laura van Niekerk in that 50-meter breaststroke. Of course, we've already had the 200-meter breaststroke. We've also had the 100-meter breaststroke, which were both won by Tatiana Schoenmaker. Laura van Niekerk was not in the 200, so she reclaimed her 100-meter title that Laura had won last year. And with this one, I would expect that Laura should win this one because she's more for the shorter distances compared to Tatiana Schoenmaker. So it will still be an exciting race that we're expecting. You mentioned Chad Leclerc, but we also have Roland Schoeman, who will be taking part in the 50-meter freestyle, and obviously a lot has been said about him. He is 42 in this race, and he'll be taking part against Peter Kutsia amongst the contenders here. Peter Kutsia is 18, he's the youngest in the field, and Roland Schoeman is 42, he's the eldest in the field, and both of them go into this with the 2 fastest times of the field that will be in this competition. So as much as sport is about athleticism and being young and youth and all of those things, Roland Schoeman has the 2nd fastest time in his 50-meter freestyle, so that should be very interesting. But joining me to talk a little bit more about all of this, it is obviously a Swimming South Africa event, and the president of the federation does join me now. Mr. Alan Fritz, firstly, maybe we should ask about Roland Schoeman, and when he decided that he was going to take part in the nationals, was that a surprise, or what was the initial reaction?
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. No, it wasn't a surprise for Roland to participate. He always gave an indication that he will participate. He feels he's so strong. I looked at him, he's in very, very good shape. And he created a bit of a media hype for us, but that's good. Roland has always been a fantastic athlete. He has real killer instinct. He's very good for us from a swimming or aquatics perspective. And once again, if he can do it at this age, then we really say thumbs up and good luck to him to do it.
If I look at the B qualifiers, he came into this at 22.91, and that B qualifier is 22.89. So it's very close to that qualifying time. Will he be able to secure a spot, do you think? And what happens if he does secure that spot? Will he then be eligible and go to Fukuoka?
Look, for us it's very simple. We are time-bound sport. It's about standard. If you meet the standard and you reach the qualification, then it comes into consideration for selection. But selection is more than just swimming one event. There is the relays in contention, and there's other events, because the eyes of the country is on swimming, and it's a known fact that we don't want to disappoint the country. So our position as far as high performance is concerned is that we got to go for podium performances. We are about podium performances, and the World Championships in Paris 2024 is for us about performance. So we want to make sure that we send the best to those competitions, really.
I think these are the first games that you've had without any of the COVID restrictions. I remember 2 years ago it was still very much under COVID, and last year there were still some restrictions. Just how has that affected preparations for athletes going not just into the World Champs, but obviously Paris 2024 with that kind of shortened cycle to prepare?
You'd recall, Tony, that when we went to Melbourne at the end of last year, I told you that we are about 18 months behind our preparation as a result of COVID. We work in an Olympic cycle of 4 years. We're still a little bit behind, but you've seen the standard here is pretty good. If we had a little bit more time, but that's the nature of the beast, COVID hit us. So my view is that, yes, the coaches understand that we have to play catch-up, and they have played catch-up to a great extent. We are planning still one more event in terms of qualification for the World Championships, but that's all part of the schedule in terms of preparing for the Olympic Games. The big yardstick is Paris 2024. We are slightly behind where we want to be, but even that, the indication is really, really good in the swimming pool.
You talk about being slightly behind. and this is, I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot, it's a conversation we've had a lot of times, just in terms of making the sport more representative. You know, there has been work that has gone into it, but just talk to us about the challenges you face just in terms of making it more representative, because it is not representative.
Yeah, transforming our sport is our number one goal. We have serious challenge, and we've had communication with the ministry in that regard. If you go through any township in this country, facilities are being destroyed, in particular swimming pools, whether you're in El Dorado Park, whether you're in Soweto, whether you're in Sebokeng, whether you're in Dansani, whether you're in one of the townships in Cape Town, there is just no facilities. And all tiers of government must work with us to build those facilities. That will transform our sport. Today, our athletes train where there's a facility, and facilities are quite frankly in private schools. We have established academies at some of those schools. Lara van Niekerk has produced out of one of those academies. And if you've seen at junior level how the black athletes are coming through, it's really marvelous. Just a few months ago, we were in Malawi at the Region 5 games. A big percentage of that team was black contingent, and that's where we want to be, right at the top of our game in terms of elite athletes. We have to transform and make our sport more representative. There's no two ways about that. But we need the facilities to do that.
Lovely. I think that is an ongoing conversation in sport in general about facilities and what has happened to facilities all over the country. We remember, of course, that the previous minister has had open facilities, and the current sports minister, Minister Zizigoda, has also talked about the importance of facilities to our communities. Nicole, that was the president of Swimming South Africa, Alan Fritz, as the program for this evening is just about to get underway.
Thank you so much for that. That is my colleague in eNCA's multiple award-winning sports reporter, Hloni Mtimkulu.